inspirational stories about activities at camp.
And we meditate, we energize together regularly, morning and evening. We meditate together morning and evening, and they get something out of these meditations. I see it in their faces. And we'll ask them after meditation, well, how'd it go? And some boys can't even talk. They've had an experience. Master or one of the gurus has come to them. They've had an experience, and they'll be saying to themselves, oh, so this is what this is about. Maybe for the first time in their lives.
It's a week of all of us with no technology, a week of a lot of silence at certain times. And what's amazing is that the girls really want that silence time after lunch. They ask, are we going to have silence time? Can we have a longer silence time? They enjoy that. They're in tune to that now, especially as they get older.
I know as I got older, I really appreciated the meditations and the spiritual side of camp a lot. There's nothing like it.
And one of the nicest things about youth camp is the alone time you get, the time that you get to reflect. You can reflect on the year prior to being at youth camp and the year ahead. And I think it's very important for children to be able to do that, to be able to reflect on themselves, to see what kind of person they want to be, and to take that time away from peer pressure and know who you really are.
I know they really enjoy the ball field a lot. As far as one of their favorite activities, and there's a pool, they go swimming in a pool up there, and they love doing that all together. They play water polo. They can't get enough archery. I know my boys cannot get enough archery. They look forward to when they can go there.
Trying new things is a big part of camp. High ropes, hiking, just being out in nature. So many of the children have not been out in nature for an extended period of time. Going down to the stream, just kicking off your shoes and splashing around.
Just being able to sit in the circle with the boys and just kind of see where they're coming from, and allowing them to share, their experiences in life in general, and how they're doing in school, and some of the challenges that they encounter in school, and with their peers and so forth, and be able to just kind of share each other's stories, and somehow incorporate part of Master's teachings into a particular story, and see how one can benefit from it, and so forth. So that's my favorite time in camp is just spending quality time with the boys, and just really getting the good feel on how they're getting inspired.
But my favorite activity has got to be something that we do in our cabin and some of the other cabins do at the end of the week. It's called an affirmation circle. We've been together all week, and we'll gather the boys on Friday afternoon, and we'll gather them all in a circle, all the boys in our cabin, and the adults, so maybe there's 10, 11, 12 of us, depending on who's there. And I bring in nice paper, and we have a scribe, and we pick one boy at a time, and everyone goes around the circle and talks to that boy and tells him what they've learned to like about him during the week, what they've learned to like and appreciate. It's just so sweet. And we tell them in the most sincere way from their peers what they like about them. It takes us a couple of hours to do this, and by early on, I've got a roll of paper towels and toilet paper in the middle of the floor because everybody's crying. Boys are crying, men are crying, I'm crying, because and Master is right there. You can feel him. He's just hovering above and smiling down on everyone, going through everyone and saying, yes. And the boys, every single one of them comes away changed from it. And what we do is we write down the comments about each particular boy on this nice paper that we bring, and we put it in their envelope with their hung saw pledges and their pictures that they take home with them. And they treasure them, and the parents treasure them for years to come.
It's just all these kids that are some of the nicest kids, and you all get together just 1 week of the year.
There's no other place that allows you to do that. And it's fun. You're out in nature the whole week. You're out in the sunshine. You're hiking. You're exercising. It's just the whole mental, spiritual, physical. That is part of the reason why I love to go.
It's like a little nice little bubble of spirituality for this whole week, and everyone's just in it. On Friday night, we have a devotional service, and it's out of this world. It's amazing. I mean, just what you can get out of it. That's the best part of Boys Youth Program. That, 2 to 3 hour segment Friday night. It's amazing. That's my favorite part.
So the devotional service we began in the lake in the late 70s, I believe it was, and we had one evening that was, we hadn't had a procession up to that point in Boys Youth Program, at least that I can remember, and that evening we had to begin late because there was actually a service, or I think it was a wedding that ran late so we were late at night one summer evening, and the monks had all the kirtan instruments, and they were at the front of the procession with Brother Turiyananda and Brother Dharmananda, and we started to chant and devotional chanting and walking around the lake, and we left the chapel going towards the Gandhi Memorial. All the boys had candles in their hands, and you could see the lights from all the way back at the chapel to the Gandhi Memorial, and the sound just echoed over the lake, and it was one of the most powerful evenings of my life. And so that heritage we've carried on at Boys Youth Program. We've made it a point to have a procession and to keep those ideals and some of the traditions of India sacred that are manifested in that devotional service. And no matter what the week is like, at the culmination of the week, it always seems like very, very strong presence of the gurus, and everyone seems to be deeply in tune.
Throughout the week, we let them know that we will be having a devotional service at the end of the week. And on the last day, we have them write a letter to Master. This is just something between them and Master, expressing whatever they'd like to tell him. So we try to weave this devotional time throughout the whole week, and it comes to this culmination at the end.
The devotional service at the end of camp. As an adult, it's very exciting. It's the end of the week. Everything is coming together that you worked so hard to do with the girls and with the whole program, all pulling together. And you do see the girls all of a sudden, they're just settled into it. They're just absorbed. They're enjoying it. They feel it.
At the end of the week, again, this will just bring me to tears to talk about it, really. It's just as sweet as can be. You just can't even imagine. But what we normally do at the end of the week on the last day of camp is we have the boys line up outside their cabins around the camp, and we have a procession. We have the staff in training and some of the other older guys carry pictures of the gurus on palanquins that we had made a few years ago. And in between each set of gurus, we have 2 rows of boys. And we pick up the youngest boys first, and we march our way all around the camp, chanting. There's kirtan going on. There are instruments. There's a conch shell that we blow. The monks join us. And so we have this procession, picking up group after group of boys until we get all the way around the camp. I tell you, it's the sweetest thing you ever saw.
We bring palanquins up to the altar. It actually creates the altar, and the girls have decorated these with garlands in the middle of the week.
And we set up all the gurus' pictures, and the boys come in and they sit by groups. And there's usually a little introductory talk, whatever it may be, and then cabin by cabin, the boys come up to pranam to the pictures. They're given rose petals. I tell you, it's so sweet. They have these rose petals, and each boy will have a handful of rose petals and will offer them to the gurus with their group leaders. And, you know, whatever they do, pray or ask for their final blessing, mostly I think just thank the gurus. Thank Master and the other gurus for the experience of being at camp.
And we have a devotional service where we have the opportunity to go up as a group to the altar and offer our love. It's, I would say, the pinnacle of the week.
And it's amazing because, you know, there are girls there that are very strong-willed and you have difficulty with, and they are usually the ones that at the end of camp they don't want to leave, and they're in tears at the ceremony. It's just wonderful to witness their transformation.
And I've heard girls after camp make comments about how important it was to them, how they felt closer to Master. And I'm like, really? Okay, good, because you know, with teenagers, you don't always know what's going on. And that they were able to express that and they felt it was amazing.
I had a boy at the devotional service who I said, so how'd it go? The boy was virtually speechless. He had a hard time all week and he was virtually speechless. And he said, Master came to me. And that was it. You know, I go, good.